Welcome to this short video on creating test profiles. Without a further ado, let's get started. In this session, we will walk through what test profiles are, why they matter, and how to create them effectively. By end of this video, you will understand how to safely validate your journeys before going live. Test profiles are the foundation of safe journey testing. They are specially flagged customer records used only for validation, allowing teams to trigger journeys and simulate events without risking production data. In Adobe Experience Platform, they are marked with test profiles equal true, ensuring they are recognized as testing entities. Test profiles are safe, fully functional, and isolated from live journeys. They can enter journey, receive messages, and trigger conditions like real users, while remaining separate from production segments. They can be created individually or in bulk mode via CSV or API method, making them flexible for testing needs. Together, they ensure safe and reliable journey validation. Creating test profiles in AJO is essential for safe and effective testing before activating a journey. First, they help validating personalization logic, allowing you to compare how attributes like location, preferences, or loyalty status impact messaging. Second, they allow you to test journey paths and confirm users' flow correctly through condition and decision split. They are also critical for quality assurance, ensuring the right content offers rules trigger properly. Test profiles make troubleshooting easier by isolating whether issues are attribute related or journey related. And finally, they are great for stakeholder demos, showing how different personas experience the same journey. There are three ways to create test profiles in AJO. The first method is CSV upload. You prepare test profiles using the provided template and upload them into the system. This is a quick and user-friendly method for manual testing, and the tech level is low here. The second method is API ingestion. You can directly ingest test profiles into the dataset using an API method. This is ideal for automation and large-scale test scenarios. Here, the tech level is little higher compared to the CSV method. The third method is the journey method. You can convert existing profiles into test profiles directly without the journey configuration, within the journey configuration. Second, the tech level is medium. You will have to create journeys and use the upload action. Important note, make sure only apply test profile traits to profile that do not contain real customer data. This must never be used on actual customer profiles as it could lead to legal or operational issues. Each method serves different needs depending on whether you are creating profiles from scratch or repurposing existing ones for testing. Now let's go and show you the demo on the three methods that I just explained. Right, let's begin. The first method, which is the CSV upload method. When you are on the home screen of Adobe Journey Optimizer, you'll see a section called Get Started, where you'll see Create Test Profiles. If you would like to know more details about the Create Test Profiles, you click View Details to further understand how this process works. Once you're ready, you can click Begin, which will take you to the next step, which is a three-step wizard process, where you will have to select the identity namespace. I've pre-populated the identity namespace with email. The next step is the CSV template that you need to download, which will be blank, where you will have to fill the details of the test profiles that you need to upload. Once you are ready with the data that you have filled into the template, you need to upload this file into the test profiles using either the drag and drop or the browse method, which will then activate the run button. Once you click the run button, the process would kick in to process the profiles that you have uploaded. It would take you through the process, and eventually, if everything looks good, the status for creating the test profiles will be shown as completed. Once the status is completed, you can go to the profile browser section, where you will click on the browser. Here you will again select the namespace as email, pick one of the values from the template and put in this field, and then click view. It would find the profile within the Adobe Experience platform, which when you click it, it'll show you the profile. And then when you click on the attribute section, you will see the test profile attribute being populated as true. Now let's move on to the next method, which is the API method. As you can see on my screen, I'm using Postman. The Postman has been configured with the endpoint and the header configuration that includes the sandbox name, the flow ID, and the body, which includes the details of the uh, profile that I'll be creating here. The test profile that I'll be using is for John Smith. It's a dummy profile with the test profile being set as true. Once I hit the send button, this data should get sent to AEP, and which should get loaded into the platform here in a minute. As you can see, when I clicked send, I can see the response as 200 okay, with the corresponding inlet ID and the information that you can see on my screen. Now what I'm going to be doing here is copying the email address to find this profile into the AEP platform. So what I do is visit the profile. On the browse section, I select the identity namespace, which is the email address, and here I would provide the value and then click view. This should load the profile, and when you click on view, you should see the profile being loaded with all the attributes. And when you click on attribute section, you will see the value of the test profile being set as true. Now moving on to the final method, using the journey method to showcase how a profile can be updated to a test profile. As you can see on my screen is a journey that is constructed using a read audience from the orchestration section here, then followed up by an action called update profile. These two nodes have been linked together. Now jumping into the configurations of each node, when I click on the read audience, I will have to select the corresponding audience here, which is constructed based upon certain attributes that were defined in the schema, to pick the corresponding profiles that we want to convert them to a test profile. Here the corresponding namespace being used as Luma CRM ID, which is a fictitious CRM ID being used to showcase this approach. Um, I will shortly explain how this audience has been created. Uh, from here, I would move on to the update profile. Here, the field that has been selected is the test profile field, which is the bottom one right here. The value has been updated to, or has been set to true. Okay, which means that when the profiles go through these journeys which were selected as part of the read audience, all those profile will be updated to a test profile. Now, to explain how the audience is constructed, I have selected the first name. Again, you could use any of the attributes to create your audience. Just for the sake of the demo, I've used the first name. Now, in order to run the journey into a test mode, because read audience takes a while to make sure all the audience gets qualified, so I've used this profile to which the corresponding CRM ID is set to this, which is 1R Q and so on and so forth. I'm going to pick that value and use that to run this journey into a test mode and supply that as a value so that I can demonstrate that that profile has been converted to a test profile. So when I click on trigger the journey, I will have to provide the profile identifier, which is in this case is the Luma CRM ID. When I click the send button, the journey would shortly showcase a green line from start to end, confirming that the particular profile has been updated to a test profile. Now, you could use log to see it, but I would directly show that into the profile section here. So in the profile, you will have to select browse, and in this case, you will use the identity namespace as Luma CRM ID and then provide the corresponding value for the Luma CRM ID and then click view. This would select the profile. When you click view and click on the attributes and scroll down to the test profile, you could see the value being set as true. This wraps up the different ways in which, or the three different ways in which you can convert a profile to a test profile. Finally, to summarize the learnings, test profiles allow you to safely validate personalization journeys, journey paths, messaging before going live. You can create them using API ingestion, CSV upload, or directly within the journey, depending on your use case. Always ensure test profiles do not contain real customer information. When used correctly, test profiles increase confidence, reduce risk, and ensures a smooth journey launch. Thank you.